What's up, everybody? Chef Lex is here, and today I'm dedicating this episode to my mentors, Marcus and Melba. Marcus is Marcus Samuelsson, who owns Red Rooster and has been a great part of my culinary career. I love going to his place, Red Rooster, and I'm going to show you a dish I love from there, the mac and collard greens. It's going to be amazing. And of course, Melba from Melba's in Harlem. We all know her for chicken and waffles, but I love it for her catfish nuggets. So today, I'm going to make catfish nuggets. I guess my rendition of it, but paying homage to the both of them. So first we're going to start with mac and cheese from Red Rooster. Or my rendition of the mac and cheese from Red Rooster. I love ordering it. I'm going to actually use my Rigatoni noodles from Barilla. And because they have these huge noodles, Rigatoni noodles, I'm pretty sure, in the mac and cheese, and they have these smoky collard greens in them. So we're going to saute the collard greens, add in the noodles, make some nice cheese together. Cheese sauce is going to be amazing. So I'm going to take you over with me to the stove. First, we're going to start our roux. So I'm going to get some butter. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to get some butter melted here. And I'm going to add some cornstarch. Turn this down. I don't want it to brown too much. Wait for the butter to melt. And as the butter is melting, I'm going to add my cornstarch. So I use cornstarch for thickening agent for my cheese sauce, for my mac and cheese. How about a tablespoon? Whisk it, whisk it, whisk it. So I'm gonna cook this a little bit, and as I'm waiting for this, I'm gonna tell you how I met Marcus. So Marcus and I met because, let me get some mustard here. Ain't this something? Spices don't want to come, right? So Marcus and I met because I actually used to sell cookies on a card table in Harlem. So that's how I started. And I was pregnant with my second son, and my oldest son Liam was running around, and I was selling cookies, and I tweeted him online and said, hey, you know, I know you're in the neighborhood. Maybe one day you should come by and have some cookies from my card table. And lo and behold, the next day, who comes around the corner but Marcus? And ever since then, we've been pretty cool. So let me just add this milk. About 2 cups. For the exact measurements, you can check out my website, allaboutLexus.com. So we're gonna whisk that up. And this is very forgiving, so if you find that it gets a little too thick, you can definitely add some more milk on the end. So back to the story. So from there, I've been featured in his amazing festival called Harlem Meetup, where I am now on the board. And with a bunch of other things, we put together for Barilla this summer to help other restaurants raise money that have been down now since COVID. So here you guys can see it starting to thicken up. I'm going to turn my stove down because it does tend to scorch, so you don't want it to scorch. Let me pour a little bit more milk. There we go. Nice cheese sauce. Well, just a little milk. Here you can see it's nice and thick. And then we got to season it. So let's add a little bit of ground mustard. Brown mustard just adds another level of flavor. You can even add a little bit of nutmeg. Nutmeg has great flavor to mac and cheese. Got some fresh ground pepper. Some salt. And of course, cheese. So I have a extra sharp cheddar. And I have Parmesan cheese. I think that's enough cheese, right? Lots of cheese for the cheesiest mac and cheese. And while this is sitting here, I'm going to start on the back stove. I'm going to start my greens. So I just turn the heat on my pan. And I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil. And then saute these greens. With a little bit of salt and pepper and smoked paprika. There comes our sauce. It's really good. That's some cheesy. Oops, lost the milk. So if you don't like it that thick, you're welcome to add some more milk. I'm just waiting for everything to come together. I'm trying to take my own self out. So let's turn this on really low. All we got our start our greens. Let's get up these greens right here. And then with our greens, it's a little salt. Lots of salt. We need some salt. Cracked pepper. And a little bit of smoked paprika. Like if you caught our episode before, you'll see that we had a smoky collard greens. So you catch that also on my website, allaboutalexis.com. So let's stir this up. Now we're just frying this up. We're not cooking it that long. We're cooking it so that it's wilted down and we can easily mix it with our cheese sauce. Let's get a little whisk on our sauce here. Yeah, there we go. Everything's melted really nice. That's nice. See, now you have your own cheese dip for nachos too. Cheese dip. You can use this for any stovetop mac and cheese, or you can also bake it. If you want to take this and bake it in the oven, you can actually put this same recipe in the oven at about 400 degrees. We put it on boil. Just brown the top a little bit. You like that crusty top. Or you can take a torch. I have a torch. Maybe we'll torch it. So while I'm waiting for my greens to wilt, I'm just going to stir them up. We're going to come back in a second, guys, right after our greens are wilted. Now that our greens are wilted, I'm going to get my rigatoni added to this cheese sauce, mix it all together. So let me grab my rigatoni. Pour it in in there. I mean, who doesn't love mac and cheese and collard greens? I mean, and together, it's perfect. Perfect pairing. Here we go. Oh, that's nice. Perfect. So I'm not adding some noodles. I like to mix it first, then add the noodles. Sometimes have a little bit more sauce than noodles, or a little bit more noodles than sauce, depending on how you feel about how much cheese you want. So here we go, mixing it all together. Now come meet me while I go fry some catfish. let's get into this catfish. So let's make the batter first. Have some flour, cornmeal. Love cornmeal. Gives it that extra crunch and the sweetness. Fresh cracked pepper. And of course, some Boricua seasoning. A little bit of love. Now they say don't taste it, but I usually taste it to make sure it's the right amount of seasoning. But I'm pretty sure they frown upon that. So I'm not gonna tell you to taste it, but I'll let you know that I do taste it. So here we go, I'm just mixing it together. Get that in there. I want the perfect balance of flour and cornmeal for that crunch. Let's see. I know somebody's gonna say don't eat it. See, this is how I know if it needs a little more. How else will you know? I guess it's like that meme, who will know? Who's gonna know? All right, there we go. Let's add a pinch of salt. I know that was a big pinch, right? Let's give it a stir. There we go. I think that's good. So let's set it to the side. Then I'm gonna work on my catfish. Now, what I wanna do is I wanna cut these catfish into small pieces. Let me get my tray out so I can lay the catfish down once I'm done. Let's switch this around a little bit. So, catfish, breading, pan. Then we're gonna take the pan to the stove, okay? Scissors. I love catfish. I know people say they don't really like catfish because they say it might have a muddy taste, but I don't think so. I think they're just afraid of catfish. Tastes really good. Goes really good with collard greens, yams, some ASAP yams you can get from Melba's, which are amazing. You can get some other good things too. She said they're always just really good people to me. My mom used to make catfish nuggets actually when I was a kid. So now I relive this through going to Melba's restaurant. Now, I'm gonna finish the rest of these up and I'm gonna meet you guys at the stove. Move this here. Bring the catfish here. Get this catfish going. So let's, I'm gonna say get close. Gotta get close. If you're watching before, you know can't be scared of oil. Don't overcrowd your pan. And don't fill up the oil too much. So we're gonna leave it in here until it's golden brown. I'm gonna take it out, put it right on this cooling rack so it can drain. I actually met Melba, we've all been to Melba's before. We had some catfish, chicken and waffles, good stuff. But I actually met Melba from when they had my shop, Late Lexus Sweets, and she actually knew a common customer of mine. So the customer would always take my macaroons to this woman. She said, you always have to meet her. Lynn, she's really nice. She made a watercolor painting of my shop. And she says, you have to meet this lady that I know. I said, okay, sure. She said, I take her these macaroons all the time. I was like, okay, no problem. One day, I'm making the cake, and I'm going to deliver the cake. Little did I know, it was at Melba's restaurant on 125th Street. I was delivering it there. Melba was there, and we spoke. And since then, we've spoke ever since. So it's been pretty cool. It's been really good to me. Always so nice and warm when we go to our restaurants. And my sons love our chicken and waffles, so can't go wrong with that. This is my personal favorite. So we're gonna check on this catfish. Just wait for the oil on the oil. Yeah, oil and oil. All the oil is darker fish. So you can put some more cornmeal on it though, So cornmeal helps to give you more browning than flour does. But yeah, the older the oil, like this is technically still first use, still on the first day. When you sift it and use it the next day, you get a little darker on the first one. So yeah, I know. Word stuff you learn when you cook. All right, guys, I think our catfish nuggets are ready. They probably taste hella good. I need some color to the y'all gonna eat it. So I just add some paprika to it because I need some more color. I mean, I know that's clearly not on the show, but I needed a little more color to this. All right, guys. So I just finished putting a second batch of catfish in my oil, and we're gonna put this on the tray, and I'm gonna meet you back at my table. So, come to the end of the meal. I'm gonna bring everything out for you guys. Look at our mac and cheese and our catfish. Let's plate this bad up. I think you can plate it any way you want to. You can make a basket, put it together. I'm gonna get a bowl from a mac and a plate for my catfish. Or maybe I should have just got one. Nah, you know what? I need all this catfish on one plate and all this mac on another plate. So, I mean, what am I using tools for this? You know, let's do this. Gotta get your hands dirty. I think I want a mound of catfish. Looks amazing. Smells good. We need smell-o-vision so you guys can smell what I'm smelling right now. Yeah, I need all that catfish. This is not the same amount of catfish that comes in one meal when you go to Melba's. Oh yeah, that looks good. I like that. Today I guess I'm gonna be parsley queen. Yeah, y'all know I don't like parsley. Unless it's in Green Goddess rice, which is really good. And let's get this mac. Mac and cheese. Go in there. Let's get a nice bowl of this mac and cheese. Let's add a little bit of cheese to the top. I know you're probably like, why are you doing that, right? Because I'm going to help it a little bit. So let's get a little torch action. Got a little crispiness on here. And you can also broil it in the oven. I think a little toasting of the cheese is really good. That looks good. I like it. So here we are. Marcus's mac and collards, Melba's catfish nuggets. I think I did a good job. I think you guys are gonna like this. I'm pretty sure Marcus and Melba, I'm pretty sure you're gonna like my recipe, my rendition of your famous meals right here in my kitchen. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. Hope to see you guys next time. The whole set I'm waiting for this for the entire time. Damn, when you torch it, it adds another level of flavor to it. Oh man. It smells so good. See? That's why you guys go get the recipe. Trust me.